Hello and welcome to Nasha's Arts. Today I'm going to show you a little bit about Stone Age or prehistoric art, and I'm going to show you how to make some charcoal paint, kind of Stone Age style, and I'm also going to show you how to use similar everyday substances that you would probably have in your kitchen to look like the kind of pigments that Stone Age people used. So, firstly, in this shell, I've got some charcoal, basically a burnt bit of wood from the fire. And Stone Age people used either charcoal or burnt bones to make what's called bone black or carbon black. In this case, we're making carbon black because I don't have burnt bones. So they would have crushed the charcoal or the burnt bone. So I'm going to carefully crush this. Their tools would have been either flint stones or branches and twigs like what I'm using here. And once they have crushed it, they would have mixed in either spit. Now, I won't spit on this. I don't think that's a very nice thing to show you. But if they didn't use spit, they also would have used oil or animal fat, actually. Here I've got some oil, so I'm going to mix in a little bit of oil here. Now, they would have done this over a fire. I'm going to add a little bit more oil now. Remember, for them it would have been animal fat, which they would have had to hand because they were always needing to hunt animals in order to eat and survive. So I'm going to keep crushing that for a little bit, and I also read somewhere in my research that they sometimes used to mix berries in with this. So I've got here a berry. I'm going to mix that in and see if it makes it a bit more watery. And you can see some of the berry ink has come off on my finger, so let's have a go crushing all of that together and see how that works. It's looking a bit more painty now, which is great, very exciting. I'm going to keep working at that for a bit. Let me introduce you to the other objects I have that we can use as paint. So here I have some coffee granules. This is instant coffee. That acts really nicely as red ochre. Red ochre is a rock that Stone Age people would have gathered and crushed up. So coffee makes a good red ochre look. This is turmeric. It's a spice that many people cook with. And this looks really similar to the yellow ochre that Stone Age people would have gathered, which is another similar rock that they would have crushed up. And finally, the kind of reddy hues, crushed berries work really well for that. I've also done a whole tutorial on how to make berry ink, so if you look above or check in the description below, you'll find the link to my berry ink tutorial. To make my artwork, the first thing I do is crush up a piece of paper so it resembles a cave wall. To get that Stone Age cave look, the next thing I'm going to do is take a brush with just water on and paint across my paper. We're then going to use some coffee and a bit of turmeric to get that cave-like yellow ochre and red ochre colours. So this is quite a fun bit. You take your coffee. Now remember, Stone Age people did not use coffee. They use ground up rocks, but we're using coffee because it gives that kind of great effect, that similar colour theme to Stone Age art. So you're going to pick up the coffee and you're going to sort of twist it in your fingers, grind it up as you drop it, so that it falls onto the paper and stains it. You can even use a little bit of turmeric mixed with water if you want sort of spots of thicker colour. If it comes out too thick, just spread it around and you can see it gives a lovely background colour that you can spread around with the coffee. You'll of course have to leave this to dry a bit before you start your painting on top, but all good art needs patience, so that's alright. We'll just leave it to dry after. If you live somewhere sunny, it will be really good because it will dry a bit quicker. So my Stone Age paper's dry and I've got my paint in my shells that I made earlier. I've got some twigs and branches that I can use as pens, because Stone Age people of course didn't have brushes, they used found objects. But if you're not feeling very Stone Agey, you could always draw with pencil and go over with the Stone Age paint and a brush. I'm going to draw an auroch, which is a Stone Age animal. It's extinct now, but in the Stone Age it was one of the largest herbivores around in the Holocene era. It's got broad horns, 80 centimetres long, and it's the ancestor of our domestic cow. So I'm going to start on the left side of the page, and I'm going to begin nearer the top with the horns. So you want to do a curved line that comes down like this. When you're using Stone Age paint, you keep having to dip the pen into the paint. It's not like an ink pen, it keeps running out. So there's one horn. I'm going to actually double the horn up. So I'm going to follow that same line I just drew, but double it, like that. I'm going to move a little bit closer so you can see more clearly. We're going to do the other horn a bit in front, but between the two I'm going to do a little curved bump. Let's do the other horn now. So curve the line up and then down towards the bump you just drew. And then again we're going to double that up. Start from the top and follow the line that you just drew along and down. Let's do the front of the face, which is basically a straight line in a diagonal. So very straight, diagonal down, like that. The nose, we're going to curve round. Another curve for the underneath of the mouth, and then curve back for the jaw. Typical sort of cow-shaped jaw, slightly curved. Let's go back to this horn here, and we're going to draw a little ear, just literally like that. And now we're going to go along the back. So think of two hills with a valley in the middle. Hill, valley, hill. So let's have a go. Hill first, so it's a gentle mound for the shoulder. Gentle shoulder over, and we'll come towards the valley or the down bit, the curved down bit. And then we're going to do the other hill up for the back side or the rump. Don't go too big, don't go too high. Curve it round. And just curve it round a bit, and we'll leave that there so that we can get the rest of the body in. So we're going to go under the chin now, and we're going to get fatter as we go down. So this line curves slightly in, but notice how it's getting fatter. And once you get to here, so it's below the chin. You can see if I was to draw a straight line there, I'm only mid-chest, so down a bit. This is where we want to curve round. There's a sort of lump of fat on most cows here. We're going to now do the front leg, so that muscle that comes over, we're going to draw that there, and the back bit of the front leg here, curved line. And we're going to come down at a slight angle. We're not coming down straight, slight angle, as if the cow's running. I should say auroch is running. Curve out, so there's a little bone there, and then it gets a little bit thinner, so come in a bit. And then there's a sort of lump before the ankle, and then the hoof. Out, across, and then from the back, out and down. Let's get the front leg in. The front leg against running, so we're going to have the front leg like this, coming out at an angle. So the larger bit at the top where the muscle is. Two curved lines like that. Just going to make that a bit thicker actually. Okay, two curved lines we've got. We're going to come out for that larger bone there and curve in a little bit. And then straight down towards the hoof. Might be a bit tricky for you to see because I've got some coffee on the paper. But hopefully you're just basically coming out and across for the hoof. Use that other hoof to help you if you can't see very well. Now we're going to do the underbelly of the cow, of the auroch. So let's start below this other leg here, curve up, and we're going to give it a nice fat belly. It's going to come to a sort of curvy point here before we go up. Curving up like that. And then we're going to carry on this rump. I'm just going to clean my pen. It's got build up of lots of berries on it. Right. Carry on the rump. Round. And notice I'm curving in slightly, and then I'm going to come out for that back leg. Out, there's a little curve in again. There's a sort of point, and then it curves in again for the back leg, which I'm going to bring down. There's that little thing, little lump before the ankle. And I'm going to do the front of that as well. I'm going to put that muscle in just a little bit over the body. Can you see this line goes over the body there? Bring it down, parallel almost to this line here at the back. Stop there because we're going to change angle and come this way now, parallel to that one. I'm going to curve it in and then do a hoof. And now for the leg at the back. So two lines, again parallel, come in, parallel, almost parallel, they just get slightly thinner, little lump, and the hoof. And you want to make sure that this leg finishes shorter than the front leg. And give it a little tail. I'm going to add a tassel on the end. Just a little, like, fat a bit on the end. And then we want to get the eye in. So I'm just going to do a little eye there. And I might do a bit more of the nose. And a bit of hair on the head here. In some cave paintings, the legs are painted in black. You could do that if you like. Looks a little bit horsey, our aurochs, but that's okay. Cave Stone Age people did also draw horses on caves. So whether your aurochs turns out horsey or more like an aurochs, doesn't really matter too much. I'm just painting in the legs now with the black paint. Add a bit onto the last leg here. And then what you can do is add just little touches of red to parts of your aurochs. So I've got berry ink here and I've got coffee. So you can decide which one you like. I don't quite like the coffee actually. I'm going to just add a little bit, a few dots here around the eye. Maybe a bit more colour on the belly. I've changed the shape of my branch as well, so I'm using one that I can fill more space in quickly because it's got an angle to it. And this bit really you can add what bits of decoration you like to your animal painting. Coffee smells really nice. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you love drawing Stone Age animals, check out my other tutorials, which I'll put in the link below. I've got how to draw a mammoth, how to draw the ferocious Andrewsarchus, and also how to draw a saber-toothed tiger's face, which is very cool. If you want to look at my other art, you can check out my artwork on Instagram and Facebook at Nash Henkel Art.